They are one of NATO's most respected assets.
Fuzileiro requer espírito de sacrifício, requer dedicação e determinação.
Right, y'all, welcome back to Commodore Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out a video from the NATO YouTube channel. So this is titled On Land and Sea NATO Marines. So I'm guessing they're going to be kind of showcasing a bunch of different Marines from a few NATO countries. So it looks like it's going to be Dutch and German Marines, as well as the Portuguese Marines and the Royal Marines and also US Marines. So looks like they're also kind of in a bunch of different areas. So I guess we'll get some interviews from all of them, which would be kind of cool. Now, we've seen a few videos about a bunch of different Marines, so we've been able to kind of compare it like that, but never in like one video like this, especially like a NATO official video. So I think it should be pretty cool. So let's check it out. Dude, those shots are so cool, especially with the leaf right there.
They are perhaps one of any Navy's most renowned assets.
As amphibious troops, we bridge that gap from the sea to the land.
The mustache.
They are mobile, amphibious, and highly trained.
It is a fighting force that is able to land in places where other conventional warfare cannot be handled.
They are known under various pseudonyms: Devil Dogs, Bootnecks, Black Devils, Fujos, and many more.
Who are the Black Devils and who are the Fuzos?
É importante confiar uns nos outros. Só a confiança nos traz o sucesso para a missão.
They are deployable by sea and by air and able to operate on different terrains under all weather conditions.
Van de woestijn tot in de bergen kunnen wij ingezet worden en overal waar mensen zijn kunnen zich conflicten ontwikkelen.
They are the Marines.
Hell yeah. Dude, now I gotta say, so for being Army now, there's definitely like a universal pride in being a Marine, and you kind of see that with like all the different countries. And I don't know where it really started, to be honest, like where the term Marine really kind of sounded like a really tough thing. I know, of course, in the US, like when you think of Marines, you think of US Marines, you think of like pretty tough people, but I think it's pretty universal as far as like that pride in being a Marine. It is a pretty cool sort of job set being like amphibious because it adds a lot of complexity, but I gotta say, it's just the title in and of itself kind of just, I don't know, it's a little bit fiercer. Would be cool if we could get facial hair like these guys.
The unforgiving fjords and mountains of Norway, where temperatures reach minus 35 degrees Celsius, is for many a landscape to be feared and avoided. But for the UK's Royal Marine Commandos, it presents an ideal training ground.
The Royal Marines are Arctic specialists, so we're out here every winter honing these skills, and there's a huge coastline up in Norway, so being able to operate from the boats adds so much to what we can do on the land.
The relationship between Norway...
Yeah, especially in like weird places where there's like a bunch of like small, like little, I don't know what you would even call it, like archipelagos. Kind of like with Sweden and Norway, where there's like a lot of like broken up coastal areas where you can kind of get boats, like small boats, in and around these little pieces of terrain. So yeah, it is a lot more favorable to have that sort of amphibious force when you have terrain like that.
In the Royal Marines stretches back to World War II, when British commandos orchestrated a series of raids on the Nazi-occupied Norwegian coast.
The Royal Marines started as the infantry of the Navy and then developed quite a lot through World War II, taking
pirate
on that
stuff.
commando aspect, and that's the legacy of the Royal Marines.
Norway and the United Kingdom are now close NATO allies. And for this group of commandos, the freezing conditions on the Norwegian coastline presents a challenging opportunity to conduct drills
no gloves
in their
either.
orcs or offshore raiding craft.
Orcs. That's pretty freaking cool. It looks like an orc.
Is our jet boat, and we've got two variants. We've got the troop carrying variant, which can take 6 people and deliver them onto a beach, and then we've also got the fire support variant.
Hell yeah.
And that's our kind
that
of
looks like so much fun.
But in places and conditions like these, it wouldn't just be the enemy that they'd have to contend with.
The temperature and the weather, obviously the biggest challenge.
The mustaches.
Especially out on the water.
Hell yeah.
We've got the wind chill, as well as obviously the water that freezes instantly as well. And if we're heading off down the fjord at a boat group at like 30 knots into a 30 knot wind, it can quickly become down to minus 60 plus.
Dude,
so we've got to take that into consideration as well.
Word. All right, who's next?
Some 1,700 kilometers away from the icy conditions in the Norwegian Arctic, The rugged cliffs and intricate bays of the Scottish coast present a different challenge altogether.
Is that an LPD?
For these Dutch Marines, training here enables them to practice tactical insertions and extractions in different conditions than they might find back home.
Ons motto.
Yeah, from what I've seen with a lot of the other videos, like Scotland has some crazy gnarly terrain. And I'm actually, when is this video coming out? Yeah, and I'll probably announce this, but later in March, I will be going to Scotland as part of the UK trip, my next UK trip. So kind of looking forward to that. I know there's probably certain areas of Scotland that tend to have or showcase a little bit more of that terrain. But yeah, after seeing all the videos and whatnot, it just looks like really, really beautiful. And of course, it is kind of cool to operate in this different, like really sort of hilly terrain.
Qua patet orbis, zo wijd de wereld strekt, overal ter wereld moeten wij ingezet kunnen worden onder wat voor omstandigheden, terrein of weer dan ook.
First, they're inserted via helicopter. Then they must make their way through the Scottish marshland.
Oh yeah.
To a beach extraction point, where a landing craft will take them back to their ship.
Everybody's got
iedere
cool landing
operatie die
craft
je voert zijn er altijd gevaren die om de hoek kunnen kijken. Simpele gevaren zoals een veranderende sea state, die ervoor zorgt dat het debarkeren van een kleine landingsvaartuig het bemoeilijk maakt. Daarnaast, je gaat simpelweg een vijandelijk gebied in vanuit een bootje. De vijand kan je van ver af aanzien komen. Dat kan je zeer kwetsbaar maken.
Yeah, I mean, so with theirs, it's a lot faster. You can't necessarily take it like on the beach or really push it up onto the land, I guess. But it's a lot faster than our AAVs, which, I don't know, in the water probably go like 5 miles an hour. So when you're talking about being vulnerable, yeah, you definitely need, at least with ours, you definitely need a lot of support to be able to like hit those defenses pretty hard. Of course, it is nice that, you know, they're pretty much fully covered and you can take them onto the land and kind of maneuver that way. But yeah, I guess it really depends on what kind of craft you're using, but you definitely need to make sure you're covering your amphibious craft.
Kwetsbaar maken.
But on this exercise, the Dutch aren't alone. In a separate amphibious insertion, they're working alongside Marines from Germany.
Wij zullen zelf als kleine korps binnen Nederland niet tot alle mogelijkheden kunnen beschikken wanneer wij willen oefenen. Maar op het moment dat wij kunnen samenwerken met de Amerikanen, met de Duitsers die meer of andere voertuigen dan wij gebruiken, kunnen wij alleen maar eigenlijk onze bereikheid in de wereld vergroten. Dus ik denk dat dat zeker wel een belangrijk aspect is om samen te werken in de NAVO.
Nice, hell yeah.
Training exercises like this one allow Marines from different NATO nations to work together, learning each other's techniques and practices.
Dude, that G36 looks heavy, especially with the 320
this kind of
on it.
cooperation can be found all over the alliance.
Oh, but he's got here, I think it's a he, got a freaking nice rucksack. So, and then this thing, I think as well, is also like a flotation device. It looks, I forgot what they called it, the Peckle or I don't know, something like that. But yeah, like a personal flotation device. It looks pretty similar to that, which is kind of cool that they actually have that on their pack.
All over the alliance. NATO allies often host one another to maximize training potential.
That's beautiful.
Here in Lithuania, the winding rivers and their dense tree lines present an opportunity for these Portuguese Marines to practice river-based amphibious landings.
Okay.
Sim, os fuzileiros da Marinha Portuguesa conduzem uma operação anfíbia.
He looks like he's freaking been through the ringer,
Fase
man.
1, verificamos
like
todo o material, equipamento,
It's also the facial
a
hair.
camuflagem adequada ao meio ambiente. Fase 2. Nesta fase, iremos fazer a projeção.
Yeah, I love this kind of stuff because it proves like you don't need like the super high speed, cool guy gear to be like a professional and be like, you know, really solid at your craft and what you do.
Projeção pelos meios
They have
do
nice
corpo
gear
Zebra
though,
3 do Corpo de Fuzileiros.
Stuff like that. Zebra
Fase
boats?
3. Os elementos do reconhecimento irão ser projetados por meios de subsuperfície, garantindo assim a sua aproximação até à praia de desembarque.
Sick.
Fase 4. Nesta fase é crucial que os elementos consigam garantir a segurança da praia, por forma a poder mandar avançar os elementos do grupo de assalto.
Daqui
Getting that
com
foothold,
praia
man.
reconhecida, segura e pronta para a força de desembarque. Escute.
Fase
That's
5.
a cool mission.
O grupo de assalto prepara-se e nos botes Zebra 3 irá efetuar desembarque
Oh,
anfíbio.
Z-Bro.
Fase
I
6.
kind of like it.
Nesta fase, todos os elementos movimentam-se para o objetivo por forma a garantir deslocamento até a área do objetivo.
All right, and that's pretty much the basis with a lot of different assaults. You know, you get your recon elements in to get like a foothold and kind of get an understanding of the terrain and the environment, and then also pushing in those assault forces so they can start moving on the objective.
Cada anfíbio requer surpresa até o último momento. Por isso, este tipo de ação é curto, cirúrgico e conciso.
Yes, sir. A little more commando-esque. Kind of like it. All right, next is the U.S. Marines, I think.
The biggest contributor to NATO's marine capability, with almost 180,000 active personnel, is the United
beautiful.
States Marine Corps.
Hell yeah.
The Allied Marine community, we share a common heritage and history as soldiers of the sea.
I wonder what unit this is.
We're accustomed to having to be ready to pick up and move to a crisis area at a moment's notice in order to meet and accomplish the mission.
Training in European countries with European Marines strengthens the bond between the Marine forces from different continents and ensures that if a crisis was to strike, they would be able to work together.
We've been here since 1980, so there's a legacy and history of cooperation with our allies in the area. I'd say the best part of my job and then the best days are when I get to either sit down with or work remotely with Marine and Naval infantries across Europe.
And in a traditionally male-dominated...
So the only other Marines that I've worked with, like on any real capacity, like any extended or like training capacity, I think was just the Royal Marine Commandos. And I've worked with them several times. But I gotta say, working with other countries in general is pretty cool. But you definitely feel a lot closer to those Marines because again, they're Marines. They're their country's equivalent of basically what I was doing. So pretty
branch
cool.
of the military, the United States in 2016 opened up combat roles in the Marine Corps to women.
I myself am joined by a myriad of other females here in roles such as logistics, flight controllers, engineer, female artillery officer here. That's just the officer side of things. On the enlisted side of things, I have female truck operators, boat operators. Having more females to look up to as role models has been extremely
gosh, that's
empowering.
a lot of gear.
It takes a special type of person to become a Marine.
What makes the Royal Marines special is the guys that are in it, the making things happen, the intelligent Marine who can think for himself and apply himself in a tough environment like this.
A spirit of togetherness and camaraderie.
Je bent toch onderdeel van een kleine selecte groep binnen Defensie die zich op hele mooie plekken in de wereld in kan laten zetten.
They are one of NATO's most respected assets.
And again, just working on the water, how it adds like that complexity and that like uniqueness as far as the role and the insertion and the tactics and the equipment. It's just so much more fun, like from an infantry perspective. And I've been both like bringing Marines and Army infantry. And Army's cool because you get to be on helicopters, but Marine is a little bit cooler because then you can take those helicopters to the ships and take them from the ships to the shore. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like everything you can do in the Army, but a little bit more at the forefront because a lot of times you're kind of spearheading an operation and not necessarily like an occupying force. So yeah, I gotta say, it was kind of cool to practice a lot of that more amphibious stuff on top of the normal infantry stuff.
Fuzileiro requer espírito de sacrifício, requer dedicação e determinação.
Ready to respond to any crisis, anytime.
I am part of something that's bigger than myself, and I take pride in the fact that I'm doing something that so few other individuals choose to do.
Our protection
yeah.
is their defining purpose. They are the Marines of NATO.
Nice. That was a freaking great video. Okay. NATO YouTube channel. I like it. Okay, so let's hear it down in the comment section. If you guys were in the Marines in any country's military, let us know down in the comment section. Let us know how it was, especially like sort of that feeling of pride, and also what you did in the Marines. And of course, if you got to work with any other Marines, because again, I think for me, it was just the Royal Marines Commandos. But yeah, I've gotten some exposure just through these videos, and I can understand again, like the title of being a Marine and just like calling yourself a Marine, doing amphibious operations. is just such a cool and unique thing. And yeah, I want to hear it from all of y'all who served in the Marines in your respective countries, how it was, because yeah, it's definitely a very prideful thing in the U.S. military, as most of y'all probably already know at this point. But yeah, very solid video. Again, this one was recommended to me a few times, like right after it was uploaded, so I'm a little bit late. But yeah, it was definitely very high on my radar for something that I wanted to check out and react to, because again, it's not often that you get like a video where they showcase all the Marines in one, but especially one that's this high quality by the official NATO YouTube channel. So yeah, I was very excited to check this one out. It would be cool, again, to see like another comparison of like other Marines from other countries, maybe even like non-NATO countries. But I do think this one is pretty unique because it is NATO. And of course, with that alliance, you have all these Marines working together. And I think that's really awesome to see. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed it. Again, thank you for the awesome recommendations. You guys are doing a fantastic job with sending me some cool stuff. I'm just super stoked to be getting all this. I do have a very long list of stuff I still need to react to. I'm trying to record some videos right now, so there's not too much of a lag whenever I do go to the UK, because that's going to be for a couple weeks. So hopefully I can still get some videos out. But yeah, whenever I am away, I get a backlog of a lot of really cool videos, and it's always fun to just come back and start doing like a bunch of reactions to all those, because yeah, I'm always like super excited, and I never want to watch the video. I want to hold off until I watch it just to record a reaction to it. And I think it's always cooler that way. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you again for supporting the channel. I really appreciate y'all. But that is it for this video. I'll see y'all in the next one.